Hi, in this demo I'll be using Blockwell's API miner to create a crypto token and a wallet application for Android. I've already downloaded the API miner wallet codebase, which we'll be releasing as open source. We'll also need your API miner auth token ready, which you can get from the Blockwell website by signing up. I'll be using Postman to make the calls to the API miner, which I've already configured. To see how to get started with API Miner using Postman, you can read the Postman Quick Start documentation or watch the Postman Quick Start screencast. You can also use curl, and we have a quick start for that as well, or any other way to contact the standard REST API. So the first thing I want to do is deploy the actual token contract. Under the contracts folder, I'm selecting the deploy contract endpoint. Here, the body already has a sample request filled in, so I just need to edit that a little bit. This holder parameter is the account the token supply will be deposited to when the contract is deployed. So I want to make sure that's my default account. So just to double check, I'm going to go to the accounts, list accounts, hit send. And here, the first one is my default account. So I'm just going to copy that address, go back to the deploy contract endpoint, replace the holder with my own address. I'm going to call this token the super coin. For network, just need to leave it at Spout. That is currently the only network available on the Blockwell Spout environment. The type will be a standard ERC20 token. Symbol, I'm going to change to SC for Supercoin, keeping decimals at 18, and 100 million tokens as the total supply. And then just hit send. So this response is giving us the ID of the transaction where the contract is deployed. And since it is Ethereum, it takes a moment for the contract to finish deploying. On the Spout network, it usually takes about 8 to 12 seconds. But it did already give us the unique ID for the contract, so let's go ahead and copy that. And we can double check what the status of it is here under contract by ID and parameters. Make sure contract ID's value is the new contract ID and hit send. So here's our super coin. The fact that it has an address means it's already been deployed. So looks good. We have a fully functioning ERC20 token on the Blockwell Spout network. Okay. So next, since now I have the token, I'm going to configure the backend for the wallet application. The backend is basically responsible for user management, registering, signing in, and calling the API miner API. The Android application doesn't call it directly, just because we want to make sure that the main API miner auth token doesn't get distributed. So, and I'm using WebStorm, but you can use any editor of your choice. It doesn't really matter. But the first thing we need to do is copy the two main configuration files from their examples to actual files. So config YAML and nextfile.js. I'm just going to be running this in development mode, so I don't need to change anything in the database configuration. I'm just going to leave it at development using SQLite. In the main config, I'm setting the API miner token variable to my auth token. Just going to grab it from here. And the token contract ID changed to the contract we just deployed. Okay. The API miner URL should be pointing to spout.apiminer.com. And the initial airdrop amount, I'm going to just leave at that. That's 100 tokens with 18 decimals. That's just the amount of tokens the new users will be sent when they sign up in the app. Okay, that's all we need to do. So next we're going to go ahead and launch the backend. Just opening my terminal here. We'll start by running npm install just to get all the dependencies for Node. Okay. And then we just need to run npm start. So here, one of the things you'll note that before the backend starts, it also runs next migrate up, which just does database migrations. As you can see, that created the SQLite database here in the root folder of the server, which is all we'll be using for development. And as the last thing, it's just saying that it's listening on port 3000, so we got the server ready. Okay, next we'll switch over to Android Studio. All I've done so far is open the Android folder in the code base in Android Studio, and I've started an emulator running where we'll be running the application itself. And since I'm just running the app in the emulator, I'll be using the debug build type. So first off, in the build Gradle for the app, we'll make sure that the URL for the API is correct. So here under build types and debug, we see the 10.0.0.2 and port 3000, which is the IP address of my workstation on my local network, and port 3000, which is correct since we just saw it start on port 3000. And then we'll change some text in the app just to show that we're using the supercoin. Here under strings, there's it's the default token in the app is called WAC, which is short for wallet coin. So I'm just going to change those to be SC instead. And then double check that change these as well. Supercoin balance, free supercoins, and send supercoins. Okay. Okay, that's all we need. So now we can just go ahead and build and run the app in the Nexus 5X emulator that I have running. Double click and it'll take a few moments to build. Okay, the app launched, so I'll register a new account with my slow mouse typing. Okay. There we go. We've got a new wallet address. And in a few moments, we should see the airdrop of the tokens to the account, and the screen should update automatically. There we go. Received 100 super coins. And just to double check, let's go and take a look at the transaction history or transfer history for the token. Just make sure, uncheck these, grab the correct ID for the contract, and send. And here we go. You see 100 tokens being transferred, and let's just double check the address. Our address is 76159, etc. 76159, etc. We're good. There we go. So thank you for watching.